Good morning, everyone. Again, it's English time, and I guess this would be our last topic for the third quarter. And for this morning, we are going to discuss China, the land of the dragon. Also, we're going to talk about Confucian teaching. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Let's meet first Confucius. So, are you familiar with the name Confucius? Who is Confucius? All right. So Confucius is one of the world's greatest philosophers and is popularly known as Kongzi, which means Master Kong in Chinese. So Confucius is the Latin name of Confucio, which means the great teacher. He believed that all people and the society they lived in benefit from a lifetime of learning and a moral outlook. And now let's talk about the ANALECTS of Confucius. So when we say ANALECTS, it is a collection of the teachings of Confucius. It is presented as a series of discourses and dialogues that Confucius had with his disciples. So they were put together by his disciples several years after he died. So the Analects of Confucius consist of 20 books, and each book is composed of several pages. So, what are the three most important philosophies that can be grasped through the Analects? First, we have here Gen, or that is benevolence. And when we say benevolence, it is the quality of being well, or kindness, or goodness. That is benevolence. Next, we have Ye, or that is propriety. So, it is the state or quality of conforming to conventionally accepted standards of behavior or morals. So it can be decency, correctness, or appropriateness. All right. And the last one, we have the Li, or that is ritual. So it means the ceremony, rites, and observance. Okay, so the Analects teaches us that a man of virtue must embrace and live out the three ethical principles in order to promote harmony with all his relations. So again, there are three important philosophies. First is we have the Gen, or benevolence, Ye, or that is propriety, and Li, that is ritual. Okay? So now let's have some examples of Confucius Analects, and let's try to interpret or understand what's the message or values behind those words. Okay? So first we have here, Confucius said, a man who speaks with honeyed words and pretends to be kind cannot be benevolent. So what does it mean? So the honeyed words here mean sweet, positive, and kind words. So it simply means that actions speak louder than sweetened and honeyed words. And words alone aren't enough, no matter how honeyed rather, and buttered they sound. It's the honest actions behind those sweet words. Okay? And also, it's hard to trust anyone who uses sweet and nice words, someone who pretends to be kind but lacks of kindness. And this one talks about benevolence. Okay? So that is goodness or kindness. Next, we have Zheng Zi said, every day I examine myself once and again. Have I tried my utmost to help others? Have I been honest to my friends? Have I diligently reviewed my instructions from the master? So Zheng Zi here is one of Confucius' disciples. And when we say disciple, it is someone who believes or follows the teachings. Okay? So master here refers to Confucius. And this one talk about diligence. Okay, so diligence means careful and persistent work or effort. Next, we have here Confucius said, at home, a young man should be dutiful towards his parents. Going outside, he should be respectful towards his elders. He should be cautious in deeds and trustworthy in words. He should love everyone, yet make close friends only with those of benevolence. If he has any more energy to spare, let him devote it to books. So here, if you say that someone is dutiful, you mean that they do everything that they are expected to do. So a young man here should serve his parents. He should do the things that are expected him to do, like taking care of his parents, attending their needs, obeying and respecting them. Also, to love and care for his parents are duty of a young man. So young man here does not only refers to boys, but all children. So as a children, as a young citizen, you must be dutiful and show kindness and honesty all the time. So it talks about dutiful and respectful. Okay. Next, we have Confucius said, don't worry about being misunderstood, but about understanding others. So what does it mean? This sentence refers to not giving importance if people do not listen to you carefully or they don't analyze what you're saying. Just make sure that you listen and learn carefully from others because, according to Confucius, what is more important than being understood is you are able to understand others. So stop worrying if other people misunderstood you. The important is you understand them. And it talks about understanding. All right. So moving on, we have Ji Kangzi asked, what can I do to make people respect and be loyal to their superiors and try their best in service? Confucius said, be upright in the presence and they will hold you in respect. Be filial and benevolent and they will be loyal to you. So use the righteous and instruct the unqualified and they will try their best in service. So Jikangzi here, he was employed in Confucius' household before becoming the chief officer of Jizon, or that is Ji household. Okay, then he became the minister of Lu, and this sentence refers to filial. So when we say filial, it means being devoted or faithful. So what can I do to make the people respect and be loyal? So you have to be upright in the presence and hold respect. Okay. Next, we have Confucius said to be friendly towards someone while concealing one's hostility. This Zhu Qiming found shameful. So do I. So Confucius here means you are gaining the trust of someone you are bound to betray later. And it is shameful for not all people give their trust just like that. Okay, and it talks about friendliness. All right, so let's continue. Next, we have Confucius said, I would pursue wealth so long as it could be obtained legitimately, even by being a common cart driver. If wealth could not be obtained legitimately, I would rather follow my own preferences. So here, for Confucius, if wealth was worth pursuing, he would go after it, even if it meant working as a lowly official. But if it is not, he'd rather follow his own interest. So here it seems like it's better to be the poorest of the poor than to be a high-profile, corrupt politician or any rich businessman who obtained his wealth by fraud. Okay? And it talks about legitimacy. And we have here, Confucius said there is happiness in eating coarse food, drinking cold water, and sleeping on the floor. Ill-gotten wealth and rank are just like fleeting clouds to me. So what does it mean? So for Confucius, he is alluding to the fact that luxuries are fleeting and unnecessary to individual happiness. So happiness can be found in the fulfillment of basic needs, or simplicity makes him happy. All right? And it talks about, of course, happiness. Next, why did you not say something like this? He's the sort of person who can be delusional that he forgets his meals, so happy he forgets his worries and is even unaware of approaching old age. So here the Duke of Ye asked Zilo about Confucius, and Zilo failed to give a reply. So Confucius said to him afterwards, "Why did you not say something like this?" And this sentence talks about loyalty. And when we say loyalty, it is the quality of staying firm in your friendship or support for someone or something. And one best example is the loyalty of dogs to his master. So they are very devoted to whomever they see as their master or their leader. So that is loyalty. Next, we have here, Confucius said, "When walking in the company of other men, there must be one I can learn something from. I shall pick out his merits to follow and shortcomings for reference to overcome my own." So what does it mean? So it means that if I am walking with two other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. So I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. It means that you can learn something from others that can help you in improving yourself. And it talks about emulation. So when we say emulation, it is the effort to match or surpass a person or achievement typically by imitation. All right. Next, Confucius said, "I am not one of those who pretend to understand what they do not. I suggest that one should listen to different views and choose the sound one to follow. See the different things and keep them in mind." So knowledge obtained in this way is reliable, though not as good as innate knowledge. So it means that for you to understand something, try to analyze first. Don't pretend that you know everything, even you don't. Try to hear everyone's point of view or opinion. And it talks about knowledge and learning. And that's the end of our discussion for today. And I hope you learned a lot from the Analects of Confucius. Again, this is Teacher Mitch, your English teacher, leaving you a quote from Confucius. "He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger." Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead.